Hello there guys, and welcome to this Explain 11 video. It's a beautiful day here at Charles de Gaulle Airport in France, and this is where we're going to be departing today on a full flight to Frankfurt in Germany. Our flight today is Lufthansa 1027, and we're going to be using ProjectFly for flight monitoring and SimBrief for flight planning. We are currently situated at the cargo area at Charles de Gaulle Airport, and the reason I placed the aircraft there is it is closer in proximity to our departing runway today, which is 09 right. So without further ado, let us begin prepping the aircraft for our flight. First thing, we're going to connect the ground power unit, which is always the preferred option for pilots to save on fuel. And we're going to go ahead and call the fuel truck, the passenger stairs, and the cargo loaders. And we're going to go ahead now and turn on the batteries. Battery 1, battery 2, and external power. Right, let's set the ADIRS to nav mode. And that is done. Let's head back here and check our fuel real quick here. And by the way, we're using FS Global Real Weather for weather today. So we need 12,981. I would suppose that this is in pounds. So that's about 5,900 kilos. Close enough. Passengers, let's say we're going 2/3 today. And cargo, we'll just leave cargo as it is and just say set. And we can now remove the cargo loaders, we can remove the passenger stairs, and we can remove the fuel truck as well. Okay, so let's head back here and set our fuel pumps to the on position. All fuel pumps are on, and seatbelt signs are on automatic. Non-smoking sign is on, and we'll arm the emergency lights. There we go. Emergency lights are on. Everything is done here for the overhead panel. So let's head down here now and start programming the MCDU. Okay, so first thing first is initialization. We are going to be taking off from Lima Foxtrot Papa Golf, and we're going to be arriving into Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot. Flight number today is Lufthansa 1027. Cost index is 21. Cruise altitude is 290, and align IRS. Let's head over to the fuel page and just request our weight and balance, and everything is set here. Now we can go to the flight plan. So we are going to be departing runway 09 right today. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at our flight plan. 099 through the Rano 2 Kilo. That's the one there. Insert. And from there, we're going to take Airway Uniform November 858 to Betix. Uniform November 858 to Betix. And from there, we're going to take Airway Zulu 110 to Rostovo. Zulu 110 to Rosvo. And from there, we're going to take Tango 182 Onco.
Boarding completed.
I must Onuko. There we go. And then it would be our star, which is the Onuko to Mike into Frankfurt, runway 07 center. Alright, we'll head back here. And we'll go down to the destination. Arrival. ILS 07C. And our... What did I do here? That's the one there. And insert. And now we can insert the entire flight plan there. Okay. We'll just make sure that there are no discontinuities in our flight plan. That's the top of descent, top of climb, and that's our departure there. We can head over now to performance. V2, V rotate, and V1 is 131. Transition altitudes 5,000. And let's head over to our iPad here and get the performance data. So we've got, we're going to do flaps 1 and up 0.7. Alright, so flaps 1 and 0.7 up. That goes in here. Flex temperature is 65. And everything else is okay now. Flight plan is ready. So we're just going to go ahead and put that back here. And we're going to set this to the takeoff page, and all's looking good. Alright, let's go ahead and set the glare shield here. Our final cruising altitude today is 29,000 feet. Alright, 29,000. And let's grab the altimeter real quick as well from FS Global Real Weather. QNH is 1020. Right, let's switch this, 1020. And we're going to do the same thing down here. Right, 1020. And we are now ready for engine start. Let's make sure everything is okay. And we're going to turn on the beacon light on. Now let's go ahead and start the APU. Right. And now we're just going to wait for the APU to become available, and then we're going to go ahead and turn on the APU bleed and start our engines. The APU is now available. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU bleed. And we no longer need the external power now. Let's head over here and remove the ground power unit. Okay, and now we can go ahead and start our engines. We're not going to push back, we're just going to taxi straight through, make a right turn, and head over to the runway. So our lights here are okay. Let's go ahead and set the engine mode selector here to the start position. Okay, and we are now ready to start the engine number 2. Alright, the engine number 2 is now stable. Let's go ahead and start the engine number 1. And the engine number 1 is now stable as well, so we can set the engine mode selector to normal. And we'll head back here, turn off the APU bleed, and APU master. We can turn on the nav lights now, and we're going to turn on the taxi light and the runway turn-off lights, and everything is good here. Auto brake on max, and let's see here. Flaps 1 for departure, 0.7 for our trim, 0.7 up, that's about right. Speed brakes are armed, and everything is now good to go. Let's go ahead and release the parking brake and head over to runway 09 right for departure. We are now approaching the hold short point for runway 09 right at Charles de Gaulle. And we're going to make our final stop here to prepare the aircraft for takeoff. Okay, let's make our final stop right over here. Parking brake is set. Alright, strobes can go on, beacon is on, wing lights on, nav light and logo, and takeoff. Runway turn-off lights are on, and nose light is set for takeoff. Everything else is good, and let's go ahead and do the takeoff config test. Everything checks okay. There are no blues. I'm going to set this down here so we can see what's going on. And we're going to start the clock, and now we're good to go. Release parking brake, and let's go.
Approaching 09 right. On runway 09 right.
Alright, we are now ready for departure. And let's go ahead and set takeoff thrust. Pitch as we climb. And at this point we're going to go ahead and engage the autopilot. Transition altitude. Set barrel reference to standard. We continue our climb now to 29,000 feet. Now let's go ahead and disarm the ground spoilers. Flaps are retracted and everything else is looking good. Alright, we just passed 10,000 feet. We can turn off our lights. Runway turn-off lights are off. Landing lights are off. And wing takeoff lights are off. We can leave everything else on. And we're going to now continue our climb to 29,000 feet. Alright folks, everything is working per design intent at the moment, so I'm going to let you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. and I will check back with you as soon as we level off at 29,000 feet. Welcome back, folks. We are cruising at 29,000 feet, which is our final cruising altitude for our flight today. It's a good time to begin programming the MCDU for our approach. We are about 85, 84 nautical miles from top of descent. Let's take a quick look at ProjectFly. As you can see, we are about halfway through our flight, 16 minutes until our arrival, and everything is looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the MCDU here. We're going to go to the next phase. Let's take a look at our weather information here. We can go ahead and select Review Weather Station, and we're going to enter our destination. And the QNH at our destination is 1020. And let's see here, everything else is looking good. Temperature is 21, and everything's looking good for our approach. There are, looks like, clear skies at our destination. Right, temperature is 26. And the wind, let's check the wind here real quick. Doesn't seem like we do have 316 degrees, 3 knots at 316 degrees. Transition altitude is 5,000, and our final approach speed is 142 knots. Decision height is 150 feet. And everything is now set. Alright, switch this back to flight plan. And go to cruise right there. We're about 66 nautical miles down from the top of descent, and all is looking good. In the past couple of days, I tried a lot of different things for visual enhancement, such as Reshade, the new version, which, by the way, does not crash X-Plane on exit, but it somehow blocks X2PIPC, and so ProjectFly didn't work very well with the new version of Reshade. It does enhance the the visuals. I just find that X-Plane default looks a lot better. I've tried Blue FX, I believe it's called. I think it's still here. Yeah, Blue FX. I just find that the colors of X-Plane default are more natural, and so I prefer to use them. I am using a Lua script in this flight called Environment Plus, and it really enhances the looks of the clouds. As you can see, the clouds are looking pretty good. Those are, by the way, default X-Plane clouds. I'm just using the Lua script for the visual enhancement of the clouds themselves. So we are looking good. We're going to go ahead and reset the MCP altitude shortly to 4,000 feet, which is our platform altitude for our flight today. Other than that, everything is per design intent at the moment. I will check back with you just shortly before we begin our descent into Frankfurt. Alright, folks, according to my calculation, we need to begin our descent about 10 nautical miles from the top of descent point in the MCDU. So we are at about 14 nautical miles from the assigned top of descent point, which is right here. We can see it here on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the MCP altitude to our platform altitude of 4,000 feet. And we're going to go ahead and begin our descent now. Okay. And let's use the speed brake to bring our speed down. I found that FS Global Real Weather injects far better weather into the sim, just in terms of the cloud distribution and cloud layers than the default X-Plane weather engine. Alright, so we are now descending to our platform altitude of 4,000 feet. Everything is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the seatbelt signs. And by the way, it was my bad. The flight time, the total flight time is approximately 45 minutes. I believe I said 1 hour and 25. That was my bad. As you can see, since takeoff, we've about 27 minutes elapsed since takeoff. So we just crossed 10,000 feet to 4,000, and our speed is now at 250 knots. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights. And everything is looking good for our approach. We need to be at 4,000, which is our platform altitude. All's looking good at the moment. Let's go ahead and turn on the landing system now. Right. So all is good now. We are now at about 7,300 for 4,000. That's the runway right over here, so we're looking pretty good for our approach in terms of our current altitude and rate of descent. Transition altitude. Let's set the barrel reference to 1020. Do the same thing down here as well. 1020, it's already set, so we're good. About 500 feet to go for our platform altitude, and we are now pretty close to our destination. The airport is somewhere over there. And that's our platform altitude now, 4,000 feet. And we're going to maintain 4,000 feet until we're on the glide slope. We are approximately 40 nautical miles from the runway now, and we're going to momentarily begin our left turn to intercept the ILS. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and engage the approach button. And engage autopilot 2.
Air 535, wind 240 degrees, 7 knots, runway 28,
Localizer is captured. And of course we're using managed speed mode, so the aircraft is automatically descending now.
Charlie, Juliet.
Alright, and at this point we're going to go to flaps 1. And at this point we're going to go ahead and select gear down.
Charlie 14 Yankee, roger, continue approach, wind 240 degrees, 7 knots.
Flaps 2. Flaps 3.
Liner 2 Sierra Kilo, line up runway 34, beam alpha, right. Charlie 660, wind 230.
And flaps full.
Runway 28, clear takeoff.
Let's go ahead and arm the speed brake now. And we are now configured for our landing. A beautiful approach into Frankfurt very clear day. Alright, and at this point we're going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. And it's my plane now.
Approaching 07 center.
Ryanair 535, cross runway 34.
500.
To Mike 1, turn left onto from Alster, approach runway 5. Takeoff 64, Mike 1,
400. 300. 100 above. 200. Minimum. 100.
Ryanair 535, first taxi contact.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard rise.
Touchdown. Reversers are out. And manual braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Frankfurt.
Charles 14 Yankee, cross runway 3.
Right, we're going to go ahead and exit the runway right over here. And then we're going to take a look at our landing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and bring the aircraft to a complete stop right over here. And let's take a look at our landing. But first, before we do so, we're going to look at ProjectFly and see what ProjectFly has to report back on our flight and landing. Okay, parking brake is set. Let's take a look at ProjectFly. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to the actual flight and mark it as complete. As you can see now, we have our flight statistics as well as the flight details. We flew from Paris, Charles de Gaulle to Frankfurt, and this was an IFR flight, and block time was 1 hour 12 minutes. Block fuel is 4,911 kilos. Distance covered is 242 nautical miles. This is how much fuel we've burned. Landing rate -169, not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. And this is how our time, altitude, and ground speed measures up. This is probably the top of descent point where we started descending. And this is our actual descent. We landed at 136 knots, which is a bit slower than the speed set in the MCDU. Alright, let's take a look at our landing now. Well folks, this brings us to the conclusion of our video today. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you have any questions, as usual, please do post them in the comment section below. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.
Lufthansa 3 Tango November.